In this episode of Horror Theory, we're going to be talking about everything in the world of Scorn. Guys, the up and coming title that's going to be releasing October of this year in 2022 and is sure to give us a lot of nightmares and some significant alien-esque Prometheus vibes. And I'm really excited to talk about this title, guys, as we're getting closer and closer to the launch date. With that being said, we're going to talk about everything that we know so far. We're going to break it down, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article coming to us from Durag Murphy of Laptop Mag, prepare for Scorn's nightmare-fueled biomechanical world on Xbox and PC in 2022. Despite introducing us to a distorted world of flesh and machinery back in 2014, Microsoft's exclusive first-person horror adventure game Scorn has yet to release, but we may not have much longer to wait. So with that being said, guys, despite being officially announced back in 2014 with pre-alpha footage included, the game has yet to launch due to delays and funding. Scorn was initially meant to release in autumn of 2021, but has now been pushed back to October of 2022. This news comes from Ebb Software's CEO, stating the game is now 75% complete and will officially launch in October of this year. So first of all, guys, really exciting that we're going to be getting the game this year. Now, you got to take it with a pinch of salt because obviously there have been a number of delays with Scorn, but with a lot of other games out there, guys, based on just the pandemic, a lot of things are kind of slowly going back to normal. So it may stick with October 2022, but it could get pushed back. So just take it with a pinch of salt. So as we look ahead at the coming months, we will be focusing on completing the final 25% of the content, followed by bug fixing and getting the game ready for the launch. So with Scorn being available on Xbox Game Pass from day one, those with a membership will be able to play it on Xbox Series X, S, and PC for as little as $9.99 per month. Xbox has been releasing highly anticipated games such as Halo Infinite and Back 4 Blood on its subscription service without any extra cost, and Scorn is fortunately getting the same treatment. So Xbox Game Pass, guys, I've said it so many times, but Xbox Game Pass is the Netflix of gaming, the best, subscription service in gaming, and it's not even close at this point. Scorn coming to Xbox Game Pass is going to be huge, I think, for this title, people at least trying it out who are horror fans, but also just people who have Xbox Game Pass. Absolutely awesome. So in their Kickstarter campaign, the developers stated, before deciding to partner with Microsoft, we made sure that we will not have any influence over the game's concept and development process. They were more than cooperative in that regard. The only thing we were interested in was exclusivity rights. Once all that was agreed upon, it was a no-brainer decision when we look at all the benefits Scorn will get from this partnership, from additional resources to much bigger exposure and marketing, obviously, guys. Now, the big thing, guys, obviously was the release date, but also kind of going back to like what the story of Scorn is here. Well, aside from the living, breathing world our nameless main character is thrown into, not much is known about the main storyline of Scorn. What we do know is that our character is lost in a dreamlike world and must traverse different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. This is what Ebb Software had to say about how the story will play out. All the storytelling happens in-game with no cutscenes to distract you from the grisly reality of the living, breathing world you're in. But keep your eyes open. The game won't show you any sympathy if you miss something important on your uneasy travels. Everything has a reason and purpose. You just need to work out what it is. So this is a really interesting concept, guys, where it's just a constant. There's no cutscenes. You're consistently moving. I love this concept. It kind of gives you like those vibes of like the movies that have come out where it's all done in one shot, or they give you the idea or the thought that it is done all in one shot, and it's absolutely awesome. And I feel like it gives you, kind of immerses you into this world. You don't want to take your eyes off the screen because it's just consistently moving. There's no breaks. It's just constantly going. But obviously, this being this kind of world, it's going to be interesting where every decision you make is going to matter in the end. It's going to be interesting to say the least. Scorn might have been disregarded as yet another first-person horror title you can find in Steam's massive collection of horror games. However, as soon as Ebb Software showed off its twisted version of symbiotic weaponry, the game went from the horror experience to survival horror. So players will be exploring multiple maze-like regions filled with creepy puzzles to solve and grotesque enemies to fight off. Scorn is expected to have a multitude of weaponry, and we already know of 2 weapons players can shoot off and be grossed out by: a 6-shot pistol and 3-barrel rifle that fires off organic spikes. So From what we've seen so far, guys, from the gameplay, and the trailers and things of that nature, I'll tell you, I mean, it does look, I mean, it reminds me so much of Alien and Prometheus, just kind of the world that they're building here. It'll be interesting to see if it's like in the Alien world some way or another. I don't believe that's probably the case, but it's just a really interesting concept that they took here from this. And I'm excited to say the least, to really dive into this gameplay in a major, major way. Puzzles, inventory, and ammo management will also be a major part of gameplay. Resources will be limited, so players will have to decide on whether hiding is the best option or taking on one of the many creatures is the way forward. Scorn may take cues from other survival horror classics such as Dead Space and Resident Evil, mixing combat with puzzles. Combat appears slower than these games, as seen with the pistol reloading sequence in the gameplay footage. This is sure to build tension in combat, but players will also acquire different skill sets, weapons, and various items that may increase different stats. I would say, guys, it reminds me a little bit more of Resident Evil than Dead Space. The one way it feels like Dead Space is, there was a couple of moments in the gameplay trailer where the character, we'll call him Scorn Guy, I know a lot of people in the community are calling him Scorn Guy, while he's moving, and as he's like turning around, there's a creature behind him. It reminds me a little bit of Dead Space in that way. But with the puzzles, it's definitely reminding me more of Resident Evil and like those concepts there. I hope the whole game isn't riddled with tons of puzzles. I love puzzles as it is, but sometimes I feel like puzzles, if not done carefully, can actually take you out of the experience because you're in this like very immersive world, and then you're almost taken out while you're trying to figure out a puzzle. And so hopefully they can do it and it's pretty seamless at that. And it does look like it could very well be very seamless, to say the least. So with that being said, guys, obviously Scorn is gearing up to be the strangest game to launch in 2022, melding together flesh and technology in a way only artists H.R. Giger and Zaleska Basinski could dream up. It's a biomechanical world gaming has yet to explore and is sure to pique the interest of anyone who enjoys games along the lines of System Shock 2 or the atmosphere of Agony. With a nightmarish world to explore in a non-linear fashion, misshapen beings creeping out of crevices and an array of organic weaponry that are equally repulsive and fascinating, Scorn is looking to be a unique horror experience worth your time, especially seeing as it's coming to Xbox Game Pass as soon as it launches. So I agree, guys. This game I'm very excited about. I think that there's a number of things here that obviously it's kind of riddled with a lot of mystery as well. We don't know a lot about the main character. We don't really know much about this world as a whole. We've seen the gameplay. We've seen, the trailers, things of that nature, some of the creatures. But overall, guys, this game, you can just tell, has so much rich history to it that I cannot wait to explore. Can't wait to dive into it, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. What are you guys most excited about here with Scorn? Let me know. And for more Scorn content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.